everyone, welcome back. Today I am in another Power Up challenge with a bunch of wonderful creative women. If we haven't met yet, my name is Tammy. This is lamascreationsdiy. I will have everyone's channel link, I hope, listed in my description box along with the playlist link down below in the description box, like I just said. So please go and check everybody out. Do remember to listen for my secret word, so you could have a chance at winning a $25 Amazon gift card. I will have to apologize because the first little bit of my video, you can hear what sounds like chipmunks in the background. I forgot to turn the volume off in the background before I did my voiceover, and to fix that right now, it's a little hard, to be too much for my brain to handle right now. So I do apologize for that. Anyways, let's start crafting. Right off the bat, we are starting at my saw. Taking this little piece of molding, I am going to cut it down into 4-inch pieces. First, what I do is I measure it out with my measuring tape, line it up on the saw, and cut it down. I do this 12 times. So I make 12 4-inch long pieces of this cute little molding. After I'm done cutting them all, I'm going to sand all the ends, and I use different kinds of sandpaper, but you can use whatever you want. And now what I'm doing is using this wood tint by Home Decor Folk Art, Home Decor paint. I'm going to brush it on, and then using a rag, I'm going to wipe it off, staining the little pieces of wood. This wood tint is called Walnut, is the color. And I do this to all my little pieces. Next, using some hot glue, I'm going to, with the thick end on the bottom and the smaller part of this molding on the top, I'm going to glue them all together on the corners. And I'm just using hot glue. They're light enough pieces that they'll stick together pretty good. They're not going to be holding anything heavy. And I do this 3 times to make 3 little frames. Using some foam board, I'm going to line one of my frames up, trace on the inside. I do that 3 times. And then using my utility knife and a ruler, I'm going to score them all out. I'm going to paint one of them with this sheepskin Home Decor chalk paint. I paint one brown and I paint one my mixture of orange. Now, taking these little tiny pieces of wood that I received, I'm going to cut off about 1/4 of an inch on each of the little pieces of wood. I do the first one, and then I take that one and I line it up on all the other ones, draw my lines and cut them out, making sure that I have 6 in total. Now, I took these off of another project that I was making that I didn't need the little stands for, and what I'm going to do is taking 2 of the little pieces of wood, I'm going to adhere with some hot glue, that little stick in between, so that it holds them together. I'm going to paint all 3 of them with my Adirondack White Home Decor chalk paint made by Folk Art. Using a pencil, I'm going to sketch on my words. And I just slowly sketch it on, however which way it comes out is the way I am happy with. After I've sketched on all my words, I'm going to go over them with my black fine tip chalk paint. No, not chalk paint. Marker. I picked these up at Dollar Tree a while back. They're They're those transfers, and what I'm doing is cutting off some of the leaves, and I'm going to transfer them onto my little boards. I'm just using the back of a clothespin, rubbing it down until it all comes off. Peel the backing off, make sure it's on there good. Now, taking those little plaques that we made, we're going to hot glue them on top of the foam board, just like so. When those are all adhered, we're going to take our hot glue, put a line all the way around on the foam board. Nice even line, or as even as you can go without burning yourself. And then we're going to take our frame and set it on top, and that will glue that onto the inside. Now taking some craft paper and some hot glue, I'm going to add it to the back of the frame and adhere it to the craft paper so that we have a nice covering on the back. Covers up all of the stuff on the back. And then we trim it off with our knife. Separating them in even distances apart, I'm going to use some brown, kind of like a burlappy ribbon. Not burlap, but I don't know what you call it. And then this other fancy ribbon, I'm going to lay them both out and hot glue them together. And just with some hot glue. Then we're going to flip our little signs over and we're going to hot glue this onto the back. I add some hot glue on each of the boards on the tops, and then I add more to the ends of the ribbon just to make sure that it all sticks on there good. They're not very heavy, so I'm fairly confident that they won't fall off. While we're back there, we're going to add on a hanger, and I'm just using some droop rope, tie a knot on either end. I added some hot glue, and then I stapled it down with my hand stapler. Did the same thing to the other side, and this is how it turned out. Give thanks, Thanksgiving, thankful, grateful, and blessed. Next craft. Hey, I'm just popping on here to say, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, like this video, and don't forget that little bell. It sure helps me out a lot in the YouTube world. If you're coming over from someone else's channel, hey, welcome. Hope you stick around. And I bet you guys are wondering what my secret word is. It's orbital sander. So make sure you comment that down in my comment section for your chance to win a $25 Amazon gift card. Good luck, everyone! Again, we're at our saw. Taking this 1x4 pine, I'm measuring out 24 inches. I'm going to line it up onto the saw. And with my saw, I'm going to press my little button and I'm going to cut it down. I cannot remember how many I cut. I meant to look before I started my voiceover and I forgot. But we'll see in a couple seconds. I do this, I think I did 6 times. I think I did 6 of them at 24 inches. Here they all are. I did 7, sorry. Now taking a scrap piece, what I did is I put some wood glue on the back. I'm going to lay it down into the middle. And using my air nailer with some nails in it, I'm going to nail down every board. And I put 2 or 3 in each of them to make sure that it holds. Then taking 2 smaller pieces of wood, I'm going to do the same on either of the ends. This is just scrap wood that I had in my garage, and I'm trying to use up. Again, using my air nailer, I'm going to nail them into place. While we're back here, we're going to put our hanger on. Finding the middle of the board, I mark it with my pencil, pull up my little hanger, use a screwdriver with a pokey on the end, and I start my little holes, and then I screw it into place. I could use a drill for that, but I decided to do it by hand. This here is a Bristol brush. People call it a chippy brush, and I'm using sheepskin home decor chalk paint made by Folk Art. And we're just going to give it a messy brush, just a messy coat. Doesn't have to be full coverage, any way you like. If you don't like this style, then you could paint it in full. I'm tongue-tied today. Back to my saw, I'm going to move it over to the 45-degree angle, tighten it into place, and I pulled out some old moldings that I had. I'm going to cut them on an angle. We're going to make a frame for our saw. Like that, just cut down onto the angle. I measure out the length that I need, and I move it to the other 45-degree angle and cut that. And I do this one more time. Here are all the pieces. I'm going to stain them all with my wood tint by Folk Art Home Decor in the color Walnut. I didn't catch the size of that. Hopefully you did. I'm taking a piece of, I forget what it's called. It's pizza paper. I'm going to draw out an oval shape, and then I'm going to trace it onto a piece of pine. I do this 2, 4, 5 times. Now, taking my jigsaw, we're going to cut them all out. I do it 5 times, but 2 on one side, 2 on the other side, and then this one is a smaller size. After they're all cut out, I'm going to use my Black & Decker hand sander, and we're going to sand all the edges, the top, the bottom, everywhere there's little pieces of wood sticking up so no one gets a sliver. Don't want a sliver. I'm sorry, I'm so tongue-tied today, I can't even say that. Using my mixture of orange paint, which is like brown and orange and some copper in there, we're going to paint all the circles with this color. You can kind of see the other 3 on top. Then, using some burnt umber acrylic brown paint, we're going to distress all around the edges on every single one. Give it a nice look. Help bring out those edges. Now we're going to put our backing together. Taking the pieces of the frame that we made, we're going to line them up, and using our air nailer, we're going to nail them into place. I do this all around the edges. And because some of my corners didn't match up very well, good, I'm going to use some wood filler, fill in those little corners. I scrape off any extra, and then I give it a good sanding to make sure that it's all nice and smooth. Taking our round pieces that we painted, we're going to take the 2 bigger ones, lay them out. I was making sure my nails were big enough and they wouldn't go through. And then we're going to use wood glue, spread it all over. These ones were kind of warped, so I had to make sure I got enough in the middle. We're going to use some hot glue in the spots where there's no wood glue. Squish it down. And then, using our air nailer again, we're going to nail them into place. These babies will not move anywhere. They're triple glued, triple sealed, triple everything. And then we continue. Take the other 2 pieces, glue those on top. Again, we nail them into place. And then we take our last piece and glue that on top of those. Come on, glue. This one I did on the edges because the middle was kind of open. This here little branch came out of my yard. It was a broken tree. I'm adding on some wood glue and some hot glue. We're going to glue it into the top. And then I'm just going to decorate the top. I don't do anything crazy. I keep it kind of simple. Just with some moss and some leaves and some pit berries. And when you're done decorating your pumpkin, this rustic pumpkin is done. And I am in love with it. I absolutely love it. I hope you like it too. I would like to thank the ladies for hosting this challenge every month. It's always fun joining in and using power tools. I use power tools for most of my creations that I do, especially if it has to do with wood. But, you know, it's always nice to show a person, show myself, using this tool that I use, and whether it's a new tool that I've used or one that I've used before, and helping other people to know that they're not scary. As long as you're safe and everything is safe around you, they're not scary. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and we'll see you again next time. Bye!